As soon as I pick this cow's hoof up, I can see something white shining through the sole of her foot, and in a few moments we'll uncover exactly what it is.
And I won't let it rush when I see you dance, and the moment comes when I fall and time goes slow. I fall into you.
As this cow walked down the race into the crush, I could see she was uncomfortable.
So come on then, be honest. Who recognises this cow? She's actually been in before, and it's a bit of a poor story. You see, she very first came in a couple of months ago, and it was billed as one of the worst cow's feet that we've ever seen on the Hoof GP's YouTube channel. Not actually the worst foot, the worst trim.
As you can see from the pictures in the background, this cow was already bleeding before she even entered the crush, and as we removed that overburdening horn, it just seemed to get worse and worse. This poor cow's hoof was completely infected with digital dermatitis, and she had a huge crack right up her white line. So as always, we removed all of that overburdening horn, we doused the whole foot in iodine and used Embryonics magical paste. That was 2 months ago, and she's actually been in the crush twice since then. And now we're back for a third time to see how she's doing now.
She was horrendously bad. She's getting better and better, but she's still clearly nowhere near where she needs to be, and we need to make sure that she does get there.
Straight away, I know I'm going to need a block here. That white part that you can see shining through the external hoof is her corium. It's the part that grows the hoof horn, and it's very delicate, so we need to get the weight completely off there. My first job is to clean up that inner, or the medial claw. It needs some height taken off it, and it needs the angle returned to 50 degrees. It also needs to be nice and smooth and clean, ready for us to BoviBond on a block. I still need to model, cove or dish out this medial claw to make sure there's nothing untoward hidden beneath that hoof horn. And as luck would have it, there doesn't seem to be. There's just a deep crack that we need to make sure doesn't materialise into anything sinister. Touching that inner claw with my dirty gloves has left a dirty mark, so I use the hook of my knife to scratch away the dirt and to allow a bit of keying so that the glue has something to bond to. Normally I fast forward this part, but I just wanted to show you how important it is to make sure that inner claw is completely dry.
If ever there was going to be a delicate job, this one's it.
The order of the day here is caution. This cow clearly hasn't completely healed, but she is miles better than when we first saw her, and we don't want her slipping backwards.
Trying to be as delicate as I possibly can be. And luckily, this knife is like a razor, so I'm not having to put too much force through it. This is exposed corium, but it's in really good condition. See how nice and pink and healthy it is? That sounds silly because obviously it's sticking out of her foot, but it is really, really nice and healthy. So it should regrow.
As we slice through the hoof horn and get closer and closer to the corium, it becomes increasingly hard to make sure that my knife doesn't come in contact with that delicate corium.
See how tiny that cut is, look. But it'll still bleed. See, we need to get the start of the brake out, because if we don't, it's just going to keep cracking and fracturing, isn't it? All the while I've got my finger on this piece of blue tissue and putting pressure on it to bruise the area to stop any more of the red stuff appearing.
This spot here within her white line is the only true problem that she still has. The rest will heal easily. But at this point in the trim, I'm not quite sure just how deep this problem goes. But we are about to find out. I've soaked her hoof in iodine to allow it to soak in as much as possible, and removing this overburdening horn is not cutting live tissue, it's just removing what is hiding that problem, allowing the air in to hopefully start the healing process.
She's engulfed with digital dermatitis, all underneath the hoof horn.
I spray the open lesion down with iodine again and apply Embryonics Magical Paste before putting a bandage on. And now we get to see how she's walking. So just a couple of months ago, we started out with a cow's foot that looked like this. It was rotten and rancid and infected with digital dermatitis. It was a real mess. Today, this is what we were confronted with. And yes, she still does have problems, but as I'm sure you'll agree, there is a huge improvement. And hopefully, the only way is up for this little cow.
And that, folks, is the end of that. Thanks for watching. I just tripped over the thing.